Listening to English is one of the most important skills to learn if you want to understand a foreign language. Many people think it is enough to know words and grammar to speak English well. But without listening, it is not possible. When you hear English in real life, it feels fast, hard to understand, and sometimes scary. In school, we learned to read and write, but not many taught us how to listen to English well. I had this problem too. I did not understand movies without subtitles. I could not listen to podcasts. And I got lost when someone spoke English to me. But I did not give up. I started training my ears every day and later understood that listening is a skill you can make better with the right practice. In this video, I will tell you how I learned to understand English by listening and which ways work best. Problems at the start. When I started learning English, listening was the hardest for me. I could read simple texts and write short sentences, but when I heard English, I understood almost nothing. It was very hard to listen to native speakers because they speak fast, skip words, and use short forms. Another problem was different accents. In books, we learned classic English sounds, but in real life, people speak in different ways. For example, British, American, and Australian English all have their own special sounds. And if you add slang and dialects, listening gets even harder. I understood that the problem was not just English, but also my brain. I was not used to this language, so it felt hard to understand. But this can be fixed. The main thing is regular practice in the right way, daily practice. I decided to listen to English every day, even if I did not understand everything. The main thing is to get my brain used to the sound of the language. I started listening to simple talks, short stories, and audio for beginners. At first, it was hard, but after a few days, I noticed my ears were getting used to it. I did this at different times in the morning when brushing my teeth, during a walk, before bed. Even if I did not focus on the words, my brain still remembered the sounds and tone. The main thing is to make listening a part of your life. After a month of this practice, I noticed I could hear some words clearly. I was not afraid of English anymore and even started to enjoy it. Adapted materials. What are they and how to use them? When I started working on my listening, I learned one important thing. Listening to native speakers is good, but if it is too hard, it does not help. If I listen to something and do not understand more than 70% of the words, my brain stops focusing and I learn nothing new. So I started looking for adapted materials, things that fit my level of knowledge. Adapted materials are audio and videos made special for people learning English. They have simple words, clear speaking, and often come with subtitles or text. This helps you understand the language better and slowly get used to its sound. What kinds of adapted materials are there? There are a few types of adapted materials. Here are the ones that helped me the most. 1. Audiobooks for beginners. Adapted audiobooks are books made simple for people who do not know the language well yet. They have short sentences, easy words, and slow speaking. Why are they good? In audiobooks, a professional speaker often reads the text with clear speaking. You can listen and read the text at the same time. This helps you remember new words. There are different levels, from A1 to B2. What to listen to? Penguin Readers, a series of adapted books for different levels. Oxford Bookworms, books with simple stories that are fun to listen to. LibriVox, free audiobooks where you can find books for beginners. Two podcasts for A1 to A2 level podcasts are short audio recordings where people talk about different things. There are special podcasts for people learning English. They have slow speaking and easy words. Why are they good? You can listen to short episodes. 5 to 10 minutes a day is already progress. Many podcasts have text, script, so you can read and listen at the same time. They help you get used to natural English. What to listen to? BBC Learning English, The English We Speak, short talks about everyday things. If you just watch movies or shows in English, it is easy to get lost in fast speaking. But if you watch adapted videos with subtitles, it works much better. Why does it work? We see the text and can understand the words right away. If a word is not clear, you can stop and translate it. Videos help you remember words in context. What to watch? BBC Learning English. Short videos with grammar and speaking help. If you want to watch shows, start with Friends or Extra English because they have simple words and many everyday phrases. Dictations and listening with checking. One of the best ways to understand English better is to listen and check yourself right away. There are special websites and apps for this. Why is it good? You do not just listen, you also write what you hear. This makes you focus better on the words. You learn to write the words you hear correctly, what to use. Elo.org, a website with short recordings for different levels. ESL Fast Dictations, text you can listen to and write. Listen and write. Interactive dictations to train your ears. How to use adapted materials well? Here are some rules that helped me. First, listen regularly. 10 to 15 minutes a day is better than 1 hour once a week. Second, use subtitles at first. Listen, look at the text, then try without subtitles. Third, repeat the same thing a few times. First, just listen. Second, try to understand. Third, write down words. Fourth, write down new words. If a word comes up a lot, write it and learn it. Fifth, mix different sources. Listen to podcasts, watch videos, try audiobooks. Conclusion. Adapted materials are the key to learning English listening well. If you just listen to hard audio, you can lose motivation fast. But if you listen to materials that fit your level, learning will be fun and work well. First, listen to simple English with clear speaking, then slowly move to harder things. Using podcasts, videos, and audiobooks with adapted language, you can get used to English sounds fast and make your listening skills better. If you want to understand English by listening, start today. Repeat listening. To understand English better, I listened to the same recording a few times. First, I just listened. Second, I tried to understand the main idea. Third, I wrote down new words. This way helped me remember new words and get used to the speaking. Connection between reading and listening. Reading helps make listening better. If you read and listen at the same time, your brain gets used to word sounds easier. I listened to audiobooks and watched videos with subtitles. Later, I learned to hear familiar words and understand them better. Writing new words and phrases, how to remember what you hear well. When we listen to English, many words feel new or sound different than we think. This is normal, but if you do not work with new words, you forget them fast. So I started writing new words and phrases and used different ways to remember them better. Method 1. Writing new words with context. I did not just write the word, I added a sentence where it is used. For example, if I heard the word confident, I wrote, confident. Sure, I feel confident when I speak English. This makes it easier to remember the word because I see how it works in a real sentence. Method 2. Using flashcards. I made cards with new words. On one side, I wrote the word in English, and on the other, in my language, or with a sentence example, I used apps like Anki or Quizlet to look at the cards fast and repeat words every day. Method 3, practice out loud. I did not just read new words, I tried to say them too. This helps me remember the speaking better and know these words in talks. I practiced like this. I listened to a word in a podcast or video. I stopped the recording and said it out loud. I recorded myself on a recorder and checked my speaking with the original. Method 4, using words in your own sentences. If I just remember a word, I can forget it fast. But if I use it in my own sentence, it stays in my memory. For example, I heard the word improve, make better, and I made a sentence. I want to improve my English listening skills. I wrote 3 sentences with each new word, then tried to use them in real talking or write a short story. Method 5, hearing the same words in different places. A word stays better when you hear it many times in different situations. For example, if I heard the word journey in a podcast, I looked for it in other places. I watched YouTube of videos where it is used. I read articles or books where the word is there. I tried to find the word in movies or shows. This way, I did not just learn words, I got used to their sound in different talks. Method 6, using a my 5 words of the day list. Every day I picked 5 new words and tried to use them a lot. I said them out loud a few times, made simple sentences with them, tried to notice them in movies, books, or talks. If a word comes up in different places, it stays in memory much faster. Conclusion: to understand English by listening better, it is important to not just listen, but work with the words you hear. If you write new words, say them out loud, and look for them in different places, they slowly become familiar and it gets easier to understand them in talking. Working with different accents, I learned to understand different accents by listening to speakers from different countries. At first, it was hard, but slowly I got used to British, American, and Australian English. If you want to understand native speakers better, listen to different people and do not be afraid of new sounds. Checking yourself. To check how much I improved my listening, I did dictations. I listened to short texts and wrote what I heard. This way, I checked if I understood English right. Another way is retelling what you hear. If you can explain the text in your own words, it means you understood it. Conclusions and tips. Listening to English is a skill you can train. The main thing is to practice often. Listen to things for your level and not be afraid of words you do not know. I started with simple texts, slowly made them harder, and used different ways. This worked. Now I can watch videos in English without subtitles and understand people easily. If you want to improve listening, start today.